The ultimate art of receiving. When the universe seeks to bestow prosperity, ensure you are first in line. Look at me. I have spent decades in Manhattan watching men rise to the heavens and fall to the gutters. I have seen guys grinding 100 hours a week, yet their bank accounts remain stagnant. Why? It is not for a lack of knowledge. It is because they are infected with the deadliest psychological virus known to man, the unworthiness complex. The masses out there are programmed to be givers who feel a gut-wrenching guilt when it is time to receive. They have been fed hypocritical moral lessons since they were in diapers. It is better to give than to receive. Stay humble. Do not be greedy. Let me tell you a bitter truth. That brand of humility is the grave where your wealth is buried. If you do not feel worthy, you are building a steel vault between yourself and the flow of capital. When someone tries to hand you an opportunity, a gift, or even a simple compliment, and you shrug it off or turn it away, you are screaming at the universe, "Do not give me anything. I am not worth the trouble." And guess what? The universe is a damn good listener. It will stop knocking at your door. It will take those treasures and deliver them to your neighbor's house, the guy who is standing there with open arms and an ironclad ego that tells him he deserves every single cent. The mathematics of prosperity, giving and receiving. You have to understand that this is a two-sided game. You cannot have a giver without a receiver, and you cannot have a receiver without a giver. If you insist on being the one who only gives but refuses to take, you are sabotaging the entire global economic machine. Imagine a river. If you build a dam across the flow just because you think, "I do not need this much water," the water will either stagnate and rot, or it will eventually smash through your dam to find land that actually wants it. The rich are world-class receivers. We do not sit around overanalyzing whether we have been good enough to deserve a payout. We understand a simple law. If I have created value, I have the right and the responsibility to collect the reward. Never argue with fortune. When money finds you, do not ask, "Why me?" Smile, open your pockets wide and say, "Thank you, bring more." Upgrading the psychological container. Every man has a financial container in his subconscious. If your container only has the capacity of a teacup, then even if I pour an entire ocean of wealth into it, you will only keep a few drops. The rest will overflow and vanish through stupid expenses or catastrophic investments. The poor have containers cracked by self-doubt. They tremble at the sight of big numbers. They panic when hit with a stroke of luck. To be a financial godfather, you must train your container to be a bottomless well. You must become comfortable with abundance. You must believe that owning millions is as natural and inevitable as breathing the air around you. How do you expand this container? Accept compliments like cash. From now on, when someone praises you, you do not say, "Oh, it was nothing," or "I just got lucky." You look them in the eye and say, "Thank you." That is your first step in affirming your own value. Celebrate every cent. Whether you find $1 on the sidewalk or sign a billion-dollar merger, celebrate it. Show your subconscious that you are a master receiver and that you love it when money finds its way home to you. Indulge like the elite. At least once a month, take a portion of your capital and do something that makes you feel genuinely wealthy. Dine at the most exclusive restaurant. Book a luxury car. Let your body and mind memorize the frequency of wealth. Once you get a taste for the best, you'll never settle for being average again. The ruler's strategy. Receive to dominate. In the boardrooms of Wall Street, the man who is afraid to take an advantage is the man who gets eaten alive. I never turn down a privilege. If a partner wants to host me at a lavish dinner, I accept. If the universe drops a $1,000,000 idea into my lap, I seize it instantly. I do not stand there playing the role of the humble martyr. You must understand that your willingness to receive does not just enrich you, it grants others the opportunity to give. When you refuse a gift, you are stripping the giver of their joy. You are making them the loser in the transaction. Do not do that. Be a receiver who is both gracious and powerful. If the universe wants to pour money into someone's pocket, let it be yours. Why not you? You have the talent, you have the ambition, and you are willing to do what is necessary. There is no reason on earth you should stand behind the lazy and the cowardly. The manifesto of prosperity. Every morning before you step out to take what is yours, look in the mirror and remind yourself, I am an excellent receiver. I am ready and willing to receive massive amounts of money into my life. I deserve wealth because I add value to this world. The world is not lacking in capital, and I am the primary destination for that flow. Do not let the broke masses teach you how to live. They will tell you that money is not important. That is a lie told by people who can't make any. Money is freedom, money is power. Money is the tool you use to protect the people you love. And to get it, the first move is knowing how to open up and receive. The Godfather's final word. The world is a massive buffet, but only those who hold out a plate get fed. Do not stand in the corner waiting for someone to bring you a scrap while you claim you are not hungry. Step into the center of the room, grab the biggest plate you can find, and receive everything you are entitled to. Remember, you can only hold what you are willing to receive. The steady paycheck scam. Do not sell your life by the hour. Price yourself by the victory. Listen to me. I want you to look at your paycheck or that number that hits your bank account every month. What do you see? Peace of mind? Security? What I see is a handcuff, a golden handcuff crafted so finely that you don't feel the sting, but it is a handcuff nonetheless. On Wall Street, we call those who worship a steady salary voluntary slaves. Why? Because when you accept to be paid for your time, you are making the worst trade of your life. You are selling your most precious, non-renewable asset, time, in exchange for scraps of paper called a salary. The mistake of the masses is that they seek stability. But in the world of Godfathers, stability is just another word for stagnation. If your income is based on the number of hours you sit in an office, you have placed a ceiling right above your head. You only have 24 hours in a day, and even if you work yourself to death, your income is forever capped by that damn clock. The rich never play that game. We don't sell time, we sell results. Why the poor choose time? The answer lies in fear. The poor need a guarantee. They fear that without a fixed salary, they won't be able to pay the rent or the bills. They don't believe in their own ability to create value. They need a boss to take responsibility for their lives and hand out breadcrumbs at the end of the month. They say, I worked so hard, I deserve to be paid. I respond, I don't care how hard you worked, I only care what you brought to the table. This world doesn't run on effort alone. If you spend 10 hours digging a hole just to fill it back up again, you've worked incredibly hard, but the value you created is zero. So why should I pay you? The poor fear risk, so they choose low but certain income. But that certainty is exactly what prevents them from touching real prosperity. They have traded $1 million potential for the safety of a few $1,000. That is a losing trade. The winner's philosophy. Pricing by value. The rich understand this. To be truly wealthy, you must remove the income ceiling, and the only way to do that is to demand to be paid based on results. Look at the top athletes, the movie stars, or the notorious stockbrokers. Do you think they get paid by the hour? Never. They get paid based on performance. If a player scores the winning goal, he gets a massive bonus. If a broker closes a billion-dollar merger, he takes 1% or 5% commission. 1% of $1 billion is $10 million. He might have spent only 30 minutes on the phone to do it. That is the power of results. In those 30 minutes, he earned what a salaried worker takes a lifetime to accumulate. The rich want a piece of the action. We work for profits, for equity, for commissions. We accept the risk. If there are no results, there's no money. But if we win big. We believe in our competence. We know that the value we create cannot be measured by the rotations of a clock. Smashing the employee ego. To enter our world, You must train a mindset that is ruthless with yourself. You must stop asking, "How much will I get?" and start asking, "How much will I create?" There is a classic Wall Street story. A massive generator at a major corporation broke down. No one could fix it. They called in an old expert. The old man looked at the machine for 10 minutes, took a small hammer, and tapped a specific valve. The machine roared back to life. He sent an invoice for $10,000. The CEO screamed, "What? You only spent 10 minutes and a hammer tap?" The old man calmly rewrote the invoice. One hammer tap, $1. Knowing where to tap, $9,999. That is the results-based mindset. You don't pay for the old man's time, you pay for the result he delivered, restarting a multi-million-dollar plant. If you are still thinking, "Boss, I stayed at the office until 10 p.m., you have to give me a raise," then you still have the soul of a poor man. Switch to, "Boss, I brought in 3 new contracts worth $5 million. I want 10% of that." Strategies for financial freedom. You cannot become wealthy if your income is directly tied to the time you spend. You must find a way to decouple them. Accept risk for potential. If you're employed, propose a commission or performance-based bonus structure. Tell your boss, "I don't need a raise in my base salary, but give me a percentage of what I bring in." If you're good enough, you'll get rich fast. If you don't dare, it proves you're just mediocre. Own the system. The rich own businesses. In those businesses, they hire others to sell their time to them. They don't collect a salary, they collect profit. Profits can double or triple while their time spent remains the same. Use leverage. Learn to use other people's money, other people's time, and other people's intelligence to create results for yourself. Never set a limit for yourself. Once you step out of the shadow of hourly pay, you'll see an ocean of opportunity. You can make money even while you sleep because the results you created earlier are still generating returns. The Godfather's Manifesto. Every morning, stand in front of the mirror, look that guy in the eye and say, "I do not sell my life to anyone. I do not trade my time for pocket change. I choose to be paid based on the victories I achieve. My value is infinite, and so is my income." Do not fear the absence of a steady paycheck. That fear is the chain that keeps you poor. Fear wasting your entire life enriching others while accepting scraps. The world owes you nothing, but it is ready to surrender everything to those who have the guts to prove their value through real results. Be the driver, be the one who sets the price, and be the winner. Subscribe and follow the channel for daily self-improvement and valuable knowledge.